following program makes use of copywritten material as part of a psychological examination of music. All music copyrights remain property of their respected creators.
Hey kids, welcome to today's show. And in today's episode, we are starting a brand new series for you guys. And it happened kind of out of nowhere, but we were real in need of doing a show, and we were on the road.
Right.
So we figured, why the hell not?
Yeah.
So we're calling this new series On the Road. And basically, man, we tried to capture... Okay, I'm going to go probably make it way more than probably is, but you know that feeling when you're on the road with your significant other or just a good friend, and you talk about the things that you see, or you talk about random things to pass the time. Well, that's something that we kind of were trying to capture with this episode. We're going to try and capture with this series. We're going to be taking a couple of trips probably within the several weekends to come.
Yeah.
And we figured while we're doing that, why not make a show out of it and just talk as we usually do. Talk about the things that we encounter, the places we go, stuff like that.
We're definitely going to get back in touch with our showcase specials and our interviews, as well as real talk and life, death, and music. But, you know, this is also something that's just kind of like a situational thing on, every other weekend. It's just, how it rolls, and we're taking making the best out of this, and we're actually hitting kind of home with the way a lot of people feel whenever they've got that long drive ahead of them. It's the most real conversations can become, and I think that's something that really captivates who we are.
Absolutely, sir. Very well put. I'm proud of you for that. So basically, we talked a little bit about everything, as we do with some of our other series, but this one was just a little bit different because you get to hear the great sounds of from the wind passing by.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
You really feel like you're in the moment you feel like you're in the car with us.
Yeah.
So,
or it also, has that good vibe of, when an airplane is taking off.
Absolutely, man. So, on that note, sir, take us there.
All right. Welcome to The Conversationalist. Like that food, man?
Yeah, dude, Sam's is a damn good place. This is probably maybe like the third time I'd ever been there, but two of them were with you.
Right.
But it's funny, while we were there, like it kind of like not an idea, but more of just like a dream or wish or whatever fantasy you want to call it was going through my head. Like, it would be nice to like travel and like go to like those like little like hidden gem restaurants,
right?
With like like that.
I want to do that.
That country style kind of food.
Yeah, or the restaurants that have like you eat so much and you get it for free.
Oh right.
It's like the meal itself is $130. But if you eat all of it, you don't have to pay anything, and you probably get your picture on the wall.
Or a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But I would like to travel, even though I know there's shows on the Travel Channel and the Food Channel there's plenty of shows that do it. But I would
do it on your own.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Like, I would love to...
That's pretty much the way I feel about serial killer houses.
It's a bit extreme, but... Like, I would like to go to, like, the small shack restaurant in the middle of nowhere that has the greatest, like, key lime pie. Like, that has there's no place in the world that has key lime pie like that one tiny shack. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Because when we were there at Sam's, I was thinking, like, what's the one meal or one piece of food that they have that's way better than anything I've ever had in my whole life?
Right.
That's probably the green beans. They have really good green beans there. I like the
Sam's?
Yeah, I really like their green beans.
I didn't actually. I thought I would.
I enjoy it.
I do like green bean casserole.
Yeah.
But I think I mostly enjoyed the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And the fried okra.
They had some good ribs, good barbecue sauce.
And the ham. Ham was good.
Ham was good. Basically,
Pie was okay.
yeah, pie was decent. I kind of feel like I should have gone for the breaded pudding or some.
They had bread pudding?
Yeah, which I just recently discovered I actually really enjoy.
Is that like figgy pudding?
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I heard it in a song.
But I saw it there. It didn't look like any breaded pudding I'd ever had before, but I don't know. That apple pie was calling my name, but it was like a small piece, and I usually like my pie when it's really, really warm. It was cold.
Right.
But aside from that, it was an all in all good experience. I thought you were eating like you were trying to get somewhere, man. Like, I swear to God, like, by the time you finished your second plate, I thought you were going to get up and go for a third.
No, man.
But you went for the dessert instead.
Yeah, but I had to start with the dessert because I know I was going to get 2 desserts.
Oh, okay.
And you know how the pie is, any country restaurant, you've got, like, most of it is meringue.
Yeah.
And I just take that whole fucking piece and take it off. Because that shit's kind of gross. It wasn't as bad as I remembered it, but it was like, yeah, I don't want to eat this with the chocolate.
Yeah, I'm used to that with, like, the lemon or, like, some sort of, like, vanilla kind of thing.
Well, I don't even know if they had... I think they had vanilla. I don't think they had lemon.
I'm not exactly
sure. They did.
Probably.
Sweet potato pie wasn't very sweet.
Was it?
Nah. It's like they just put mashed up sweet potatoes and put it in a pie.
Alright, so they definitely didn't win us over with the desserts.
No.
But they won me over with the buffet and the home-style bread. That was some good bread.
I think, not that the food was really that great. It was just, like, nice to have a buffet of, like, real food.
Yeah,
and that's as real as it gets.
Yeah.
You go anywhere else, you go to fucking any buffet that has food, and it's like this shit version.
Yeah.
They've got bullshit. Like, you eat a Golden Corral?
I normally do with my dad, but I haven't been there.
But the food's terrible.
Yeah.
The only good thing about Golden Corral is the fact that you can eat whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. It's there. Yeah. It's just like the poorest of quality.
Yeah.
There might be some things worth a shit, but not their fucking macaroni and cheese, not their pizza.
Oh, definitely not their pizzas.
Their pizzas are terrible.
Yeah.
But it's still like the best thing.
It's the first thing you go to.
That's what I get.
Yeah. I don't know, man. For me, there was kind of like I was happy that the food at least appeared to be real looking, which it pretty much was.
Right. Those aren't boxed mashed potatoes.
No. But I mean, I don't know. I put a little bit more equation into it than just the food. I put it more like we're in Fairfield, which is not Huntsville.
Right.
We're eating at this. Well, to us it's familiar, but kind of it's just sort of like this random ass restaurant that's out of our way.
Right.
It was a very comforting surroundings, like families just all over. There was a little kid that got fucking ran over by a cart, which was awesome. It just seemed very comforting out of our normal comfort zone of food choices.
Right.
We went out of town and we found a nice spot and we got dinner. We got lunch there.
Right.
Lunch, dinner, whatever. So putting all of those equations onto it,
I love the gift shop though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously this place is like a giant tourist place.
Yeah.
I think it's 4 if you're on the side of the road. Everybody knows go to Sam's Restaurant. But the gift shop has like the greatest of shitty jokes.
Yeah.
And that's really one thing I connect with.
Yeah.
What was the long ass granny shirts?
Yeah.
Picture of a fucking pig.
Bed hog.
Bed hog.
Yeah.
Picture of a horse. Today I am unstable.
Yeah, like I could totally see my grandma waking up and come out with like a really like extra large t-shirt. Not that she was that big.
It's a long
yeah,
shirt.
The long shirt, but it had like Mickey Mouse or like some like cartoon character on it. You know,
that's a thing, man.
Yeah, that's how they can be old but be cool at the same time.
Right.
Because they could just easily have like some gray nightgown with a nightcap, like fucking.
That's what grandmas wear, man.
Yeah.
Just like really poor people wear giant shirts that have Looney Tunes on them.
Yeah. It is true.
It's just a thing that happens.
That's a very strange but very accurate observation.
It is, dude.
It's either Mickey Mouse or like some like
Tweety. It's fucking Tweety.
Oh, Tweety, yeah. Either
with Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say either that or like a really like dirty like button-up shirt.
Yeah.
They have a stick with like a little pouch on the back of it with all their personal belongings.
I'm in Houston all the time. On the side of the road, there's always poor people, and they're either wearing really nice clothes, like they're trying to get a job, but it's all that they can get, or they're wearing fucking Tweety shirts.
Right.
I don't know, man.
I don't know if Disney or whatever would be okay with knowing that.
I'm sure.
Because, you know, they make those t-shirts with the intention of, like, for kids, because those are cartoon characters
Right.
that kids know about. They watch Saturday morning cartoons, see their Sylvester and Tweety and Roadrunner and Speedy Gonzales, you know, but a bunch of homeless people are wearing them.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you broke it down hard enough, you could probably see, like, there's some, like...
The statistic?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just used to seeing, like, if I see homeless people, like remember those 3 homeless people that we saw in town the other day? And you're like, are we getting hit by a wave of homeless people? Like, you said something like that. Like, I saw them, like farther, like, we saw them by, like, a gas station.
And it's not something that I don't see all the time. It is something I see fucking all the time. It's just not in Huntsville, you know?
Yeah. Earlier we were talking about how bad, like, states up north, like Detroit and Chicago are.
Right.
Well, last time I was in Detroit, like, that's all I saw. Like, just people, almost like...
Chicago, it was everywhere. It was just like crackheads. You could tell these people are on drugs.
Yeah. What's the ingredient in meth that you can get out of medicines? Like, was it like you find like a Sudafed? Is it Sudafed?
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
I mean, I'm not a meth expert.
Me neither. But I do know that there's some medicine or like a pseudo or is it Sudafed?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. I find a bunch of like empty like medicine boxes in the grocery store.
Right.
And the first thing I go to my head is like fucking meth heads, man.
Yeah. You never know.
Bothers me sometimes.
This shit's in Huntsville.
Yep.
But, you know, it's a lot worse in places around Huntsville. Like Trinity.
Right.
Did you ever see Did you ever see that show? It was like a Texas Heat or something like that.
No.
It was I don't remember what it was called, but it was legitimately like a reality television show about Trinity cops.
What?
Did you not know that?
No.
It was Big Texas Heat, I think.
What time? Like what time period did this show come?
You might have been up north,
Possibly.
but it was like I think it came on like Fox as one of the big television channels.
What was it like? Big Fox, or was it like
Big Fox?
Oh shit! Okay.
I don't know if it was Fox, but it was a big television channel that it was around America.
Okay.
And it was interesting. Like, it showed all the cops as being real dumb. And it was in Trinity. It was the Trinity police. And they would just, like, go in and just, like, have their own inside jokes with different patrons. And, like, they knew everybody.
Yeah.
And, like, these people were so dumb that, like, you could tell they would, like, walk into, like, a meth place and just not even realize it. Like, fucking cooking meth, Oh, howdy, Joe! And it was so fucking real. I mean, obviously, most reality shows are not really actually reality shows at all. You know, they're all staged, but
or edited very well.
I think I think that it's all staged. Almost every time there's a reality show, I think it's staged, unless it's like a game show. You know, even sometimes that's staged.
Well, I know, like, back in the day where they had, like, The Real World on MTV.
Right.
Like, that was all going on, but they would edit it in certain ways, so it would create certain drama, like, certain storylines.
Right.
So I guess that's still somewhat staged. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
But there's that... You ever seen that one show? I think it's on, like, True TV. It's, like, some, like, car repo show or something like that. It has, like, some big black woman on it. You ever seen it? Okay, so there's this big black lady, I don't know what her name is, but she's like this big brute of a woman, and like she goes to car, she has like a repo truck, and you know she gets the call, there's a car that's illegally parked at such and such place, we need you to go pick it up. She goes, I'm on my way, baby, and she goes to pick it up. But what makes the show entertaining is whenever like people who own the car, like they run out, you're not taking my car, bitch, like, you know, like they give her lip.
Is there any hair pulling? Because that would be great.
Probably. But it gets kind of like... It gets...
Don't you pull my weave?
No. It doesn't go that far. It goes as far as... Okay, so it was one of her coworkers. They went to go pick up a car, and it was some woman. She had a real nice car, like a Ferrari, for instance. And he goes to pick it up, and she was like, no, you're not taking my damn car. Fuck you, you old bastard, you know? And he was like, I can't control this woman. I need help. I need backup. So he calls the big black lady, and she shows up, you know, slow motion, just walking in, you know. And she's like, are we going to have a problem here? You know, my partner's trying to take the car, you know. So she's all like, hook the car up. We're getting out of here. We're taking this car. And she's still, the woman's like, no, you're not. You're not, just fighting with her or whatever. And then the guy, he's like trying to like push buttons or something like that. And then he actually puts the car in reverse or something like that and knocks the woman off of like...
Oh, dude, I've seen that.
And then he's like, oh my god.
And she fucking walks.
She walks back in like the goddamn Terminator. It's like, what am I... Okay, I was convinced that this was real. Or not real, but at least like something. And now you took it to she's indestructible. She's unbreakable.
It's a reality TV show where the Hulk
Yeah.
The Walking Dead shit.
When I watched that, I was like, there's a reason I don't watch TV. And this is definitely the reason I don't watch television.
My mom watches this, it's like My Big Gypsy Wedding. And it is terrible.
It sounds terrible.
Everything about it is wrong. It's just like the trashiest people I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Throughout the whole thing, like, it actually makes Jersey Shore entertaining.
I've actually watched like 2 episodes of that show.
Jersey Shore?
Yeah. And I was entertained by how stupid it was.
Yeah.
But I wasn't entertained at all. Like, because like, they'd already had like seasons worth of seasons of shows. So I caught it like somewhere in the middle. And like they're making all these references, like there's like some reference to like t-shirt time or something like that, because like they don't ever wear t-shirts, so they say it's t-shirt time. It's not better than actually put clothes on.
Right.
Like that's
kind of like a trashy concept right there.
Yeah. But no, since they're big, greasy, muscly Guidos,
right?
You know, it's
if I was a greasy, muscly Guido, I don't think I'd wear t-shirts either.
Right. But I caught that, and it's like I don't understand why this is important, but okay. And then there was one episode where it was like one person was going to get into an actual fist fight with the other person, and it was this big deal. And then they edited it so where you see somebody getting taken out by a stretcher, and you're thinking like, oh my god, somebody got fucked up. I gotta watch this. Who fucked up who? Was it Vinny or was it Paulie? Who got it? You know? And then you watch the episode, and fucking Vinny is like getting all jacked up and hyped up, and he's like, because he's about to get into a fight, and he fucking hits his head against the wall like a dumbass, and then he has a concussion, and they gotta take him out with a stretcher.
I think the only reason why I've ever watched that show, and I don't even think I've actually watched an entire episode, just parts of it, was just, you know, in case, like, Snooki flashed the right part.
Right. You got a good amount of, like, side boob.
Right, absolutely.
You can pause it.
That's probably it. Even then, she's still trashy.
Oh, yeah.
Would never touch in real life.
Definitely.
There's some chicks you don't mind looking at,
Yeah.
but you would never actually want to touch in real life.
Yeah, definitely. I guess, I mean,
yeah. I'll end it there.
Yeah. No, like, I don't see what's really appealing about not just that show in general, but like some of the people that you see like on certain reality shows, or like The Bachelorette, or like certain TV shows where they hype.
Like, if it depends, because like there would be like, remember whenever there was that show with Flavor Flav?
Oh, Flavor of Love.
That was horrible.
Yeah,
but it was so fucking entertaining.
Yeah. When one woman was like choking another woman, she's like, "I'll kill you, bitch!" Like, that's pure entertainment right there.
All to steal the heart of one crackhead who wears a fucking Viking hat and a giant fucking clock around his neck.
Yeah.
Man.
Who was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's so fucking...
But not him.
No, it was the whole crew. It was Public Enemy.
Yeah. But he's still there. He showed up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's stupid. Like, the way that I've described it to people who don't understand rock and roll at all, it's like, okay, imagine if Lil Wayne had a song that he did with fucking
Joe Perry.
Well, I was gonna say like Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, okay.
Right, and this was the same time that George Strait got into the Country Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
This is the same moment in time. It's George Strait and Lil Wayne at the same time. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Because this was whenever Rush got in.
Yeah.
Rush is a big band. It is not even controversial how much of a big fucking rock band this is.
Yeah.
Rush is, whether you like them or not, that's not up for debate. It is a band that obviously should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Most definitely.
But for that to be the exact time that Public Enemy gets in, that's just bad. That's horrible.
Do you have any opinion on the fact that NWA was put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well? I think they were put in the same year that, who did Smoke on the Water?
Deep Purple.
Deep Purple, yeah, like the same year that Deep Purple, and there's a few other bands.
What did they ever do that was rock?
Nothing.
Technically, Public Enemy had a song with Anthrax.
Yeah. But yeah, they're...
I definitely respect NWA to a whole nother level than Public Enemy, but you know what I mean?
Do you think that
I think Dr. Dre, hands down, Ice Cube, what was that other guy? Eazy-E. All those guys. Was there anybody else in NWA?
There was two other members, but nobody ever thinks about them.
Yeah, I don't think about them. But those three are fucking... They're rock stars in their own merit, but I think that you should have contributed something to rock and roll.
Right. I think as musicians, as artists, they have way more than enough credit to deserve some sort of acknowledgement.
Absolutely.
Because there'd be some pieces of music that we would never have if it wasn't for Dr. Dre's like genius production skills.
Right.
And we wouldn't have some of the things we have in our culture without Ice Cube and his movies, his music.
His movies.
I'm not even joking. Friday was a huge thing for the black community. Okay.
Are we there yet?
Okay, maybe not so much. But Friday, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
These were big things. These are big things as far as their culture goes. Much like how Blood In, Blood Out was a big thing towards Mexican culture.
Yeah, but I think it's the same as like, I think that the name should change if that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, I think that MTV shouldn't be called MTV anymore.
Right.
Because it's not about music anymore, it's about reality TV.
It should be RTV.
Yeah. RTV. That even rings off the tongue a little better.
Yeah.
It's creative.
Yeah.
Not MTV, though.
No.
That's crazy. Why did we get into that? Why did it even change like that? Obviously, money.
Yeah.
That's what was paying the bills. That's why anything works the way it does. But at that point, you should just change your fucking name.
Yeah, TV stations do it all the damn time. The fucking Family Channel, Family Network, or was it I don't remember what it's called, but like there's like the channel that used to show like Harry Potter all the damn time and like kids movies and stuff. Like there was like a family channel, and they changed it to like some other kind of other name because they were showing more like edgy content with like teens with like more emotional problems and shit like that. That made sense that they did that because they're changing up their content.
Is there an Adult Swim channel, or is it still on Cartoon Network?
It's still Cartoon Network. They probably should have their own channel though.
They should, absolutely. There's totally enough.
Instead of just getting rid of their shows like they did Space Ghost, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Sea Lab 2021, like
those are all funny and terrible.
Yeah.
But there should be a channel for it.
You compare it to fucking Tim and Eric or all these like really weird looking shows. Like
I can't handle Tim and Eric, man.
Yeah.
But I think that there should be a lot more production in fucking Rick and Morty. I think that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Maybe one day they'll actually pull it off because they have to know, like, that damn Adult Swim saved Family Guy and resurrected Family Guy.
Right.
Okay, they gave us Rick and Morty, which is becoming this huge popular thing.
Well, it's a good thing. I mean,
yeah.
It's not necessarily how popular it is. It is actually, like, the humor in it is not of the exact same level as the other kind of comical cartoons. Because it's, it's in reference to things. It's just kind of like a deeper nature. It's not like South Park or Family Guy where they got to repeat things over and over again to make it fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, those are all funny shows, but, like, there are times where it's like, okay, I'm ready for the next fucking scene.
Yeah. If you were to binge watch it off Netflix, you would probably only select like a certain episode that you wanted to see.
Right.
Because if you watched it back to back to back.
Right. Rick and Morty, you want to do that. Rick and Morty, you want to, from episode to episode, even though it doesn't really have to be.
Yeah.
It's just so, I don't know. I mean, I hate to show things in any sort of bias because obviously I like it, but it is of a different nature of kind of comedy than it is.
Yeah.
Even in a certain degree, it probably bounces off of the Adventure Time sort of comedy, just more adult.
Yeah, probably. I never got into that show, but I know a lot of like young adults.
I think it's perfect because it is something you can actually watch with your kids and everybody be entertained.
Right.
I can't watch a whole lot of it. I can't binge it. I don't really like it a lot, but it's like the best thing to watch with your kids without any sort of adult humor. Because it's clean. It's clean as shit.
That show is clean?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's just like Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg, obviously he was like a drug addict.
Yeah.
And he had quick jokes. Almost every single one of his jokes were fucking kid-friendly.
Right. And it almost seemed like some of those jokes you would hear in the schoolyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitch Hedberg is the shit.
Yeah.
Was
the shit. I don't know, man. Some of those shows, like, I got no problem with Cartoon Network. Like, some of the first television I actually watched was off Cartoon Network. Like, when I first started, and you saw, like, Eddie Bravo, and Scooby-Doo, and Samurai Jack, fucking Dexter's Laboratory. Like, to me, that was Cartoon Network. That was that channel. And then it got into...
You said Powerpuff Girls? You should have said Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, yeah, Powerpuff Girls. But then you get in some really weird shows.
The fucking Cow and Chicken?
Well, even that was still that still counted for me. But I'm talking about like Gumdrop or some shit like that, and like Uncle Grandpa or some shit.
Oh man, those are horrible.
You know, it sort of seems like they were trying to milk off of the whole Adventure Time, from what I'm gathering. I could be completely wrong, but like as far as like weird content and like weird stuff, that's like
horrible animation.
Yeah, like which is like funny because like it had to know that there's kids out there that are all jacked up on sugar and act fucking stupid with each other.
Yeah, so they had to make stupid comedy.
Yeah,
right. I don't know.
It's that fine line of like reality and entertainment, and you're kind of getting too close to what reality is like by how you're talking in these shows. Because you know that there's a bunch of dumbass kids that talk to each other in some way that some of these people talk. It's like,
right.
I like breaking into fantasy where a cow and a chicken like hang out with this devil-looking guy that has this huge ass that's just like sticking out. Like, you remember that cow and chicken?
Yeah, man.
There's like a devil.
That's
like,
not what I like.
There was like the devil guy who had like his ass was just
It was in your face. I think that they kind of ripped off the idea. Like, not necessarily ripped off, but I think it's like it coincides with like fucking Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah.
You know, Ren and Stimpy was disturbing.
It was pretty extreme,
and that was their thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it was so good, because it was really adult for it being a kid's show.
Yeah. Almost to the point, if you watch it again, like original episodes, because they brought it back for like in like 2000, 2001, they brought it back on Spike TV for like a little while.
Now I hear that they're going to do MTV again, like old school MTV. They're going to have a channel for that.
Yeah.
That is what I can't wait to see, because
you're going to have like Celebrity Deathmatch and Daria.
Early 90s, Daria, fucking Beavis and Butthead. They did bring Beavis and Butthead back at some point.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Daria was great though.
Oh yeah, Daria's fantastic.
My favorite line from Daria is somebody said something about a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, and then she replied with, unless they're diabetic.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It was just like Daria's personality was just something that everybody should have somewhere in their life, whether it be a real person or that cartoon. You know, you got to have that level of questioning. You know.
Yeah. I definitely think her humor or her personality would fit very well with today, because you got hipster kids, you got people who are like
elitist.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they could totally bring it back, and they would fit in very well.
Yeah. I think so.
When they brought back Ren and Stimpy, I don't think it fit very well for the time period.
Yeah, it was great for whenever it originally aired, you know.
I think they came back like post 9/11, like right after 9/11 happened.
Oh, really?
And I think it was like, I don't know if we're ready to... We're still kind of hurt from fucking 9/11 happening. I don't think
we're in serious mode, guys.
I don't know if we can deal with this gay chihuahua and gay cat right now.
They were pretty gay, weren't they?
No, they were legitimately like... They pretty much confirmed it whenever they brought it back. Like, there was this episode where, like, they were... Okay, this is weird. So there was an episode where they were sleeping inside of a homeless guy. Right off the bat, this is way too damn extreme. But they were, like, sleeping inside of a homeless guy's mouth. And, I think...
Jesus.
I think Stimpy was trying to...
I don't remember it being this bad.
Stimpy was, like, trying to be like, oh, Ren, like, kind of in, like, a suggestive kind of way. And, like, Ren was all, like, I'm just not in the mood, Stimpy. And, like, but Ren, I have needs.
I can hear it.
Yeah. And then Ren was all like, listen to me, you idiots. Like, you know how it goes around here. And then, like, he's like all like intimidating Stimpy, and like Stimpy's like, you're the pitcher, I'm the catcher. As soon as they said that, I was watching it with my brother, and my brother literally went, oh my god, like, what happened to our show?
You idiot!
Stimpy, you idiot! That was actually pretty good.
Dude.
But I remember back in the day, like that show being like weird, but it being kind of like entertaining. Just like seeing
Powdered Toast Man.
Yeah, it was like there's stuff.
The log song.
It's log. Yeah. You remember those things, and you think to yourself, man, that was the greatest show. And then you watch all the episodes, it's like, oh my god, this show was so fucked up. Like, this is not at all what I remember it for.
It was disturbing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I liked. I think the specific, like, the detail in the artwork.
Yeah.
You know, it got so real and so grimy in a certain sense, you know?
Almost kind of like the Mad comics. Remember Mad?
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching, or like looking through those comics and like seeing like how much like
I loved
snot and like
right.
a whole bunch of disgusting things were coming out of like that dude's mouth and stuff like that. Like, it was filthy. It was a filthy comic book.
But that's the artwork that I dig a lot.
Oh yeah, it's like borderline like Garbage Pail Kids, but like a little bit dirtier. Yeah.
It is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I love the Mad magazine, and I like the Mad TV too.
Oh yeah, Mad TV was good.
I do not like the Mad podcast.
There's a podcast for Mad?
Yeah, Mad has a podcast.
I had no idea.
It's not great.
Who does it?
I don't know.
Is it the kid?
No, it's not. There's a name for the kid.
What's his name?
Alfred something, I think.
I had no idea.
Not 100% sure. But yeah, there's a name for him.
I had no idea. Man, there's fucking podcasts for everything, man. It's crazy.
There is. Jim Brewer has his own podcast, and it's obnoxious.
Yeah, there's a lot of
really obnoxious podcasts.
A lot of stand-up comedians have their own podcasts, which I guess is a perfect outlet for them to, like, I don't know so much if they want to, like, use their own material, but they want to use their humor as far as commentary goes.
I think I just want to, like, to suggest to anybody who listens to podcasts to only listen to this one.
Right. But, you know, I think as an outlet, I think podcasting is cool because it's so simple, so easy, and you can literally just talk about whatever you want. You can make your show to be anything that you want it to be.
There's a trucker podcast, which is actually a pretty legit idea.
Okay.
I listened to a few episodes. They're really only like 10 minutes a piece, but you can hear like all the wind in the background and shit.
Uh-huh.
And like I listened to the guy like hammer on about like how they've got these new trucks that drive themselves, and how we're not gonna have any more jobs anymore as truckers.
Oh my god!
And
we're getting to that point.
Yeah.
In our world, like,
well, yeah, it did happen. There was a self-driving truck. It killed people. It didn't shut off in time or something like that. It's like, what do you expect? We are not ready for that.
That's insane. I know those cars aren't like ready yet because plenty of people get ran over.
Well, no, here's the thing. They're making them.
Yeah.
But the thing is they still want you to sit in the passenger seat and take over if you need to.
Yeah.
So my opinion is if you've already just got to be there and spend that time babysitting it, why the fuck not just drive?
Exactly.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
If you've got to be ready to go at all times, you might as well be driving.
But they're probably thinking of if you're traveling cross country and you're getting tired behind the wheel and you don't want to crash, just push the button and lay back and the car will take it for you.
Right.
And then when you wake up, you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. And then you take the wheel.
But if your car is driving itself, in case something happens, it needs you to be there to.
Right.
So you might as well be awake. You'd want to be awake for that.
Absolutely.
So it's just real dumb.
Yeah. I don't know. I
think it's just technology that we're fucking wasting time on. There's too much out there that we really like. We should be investing a lot more into our fucking space program.
Oh, yeah.
Because our space program is what really... It's really the technology that we're at that's really going to decipher who we are in this time. You know, you look back in time and, those people lived in the age of whenever the wheel was first created, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we only exist through that time, you know what I mean? Through that way that people are going to remember us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would want to be known for the time period of when we fucking landed on Mars, or whenever, we went out there and, communicated with this new race of,
aliens.
Creatures, yeah.
We'll probably just be known for the people who made the selfie stick.
Right. It's lovely.
Yeah.
See, I feel like it's not right to call them aliens if we go out there and find them, because technically we're aliens.
Yeah. What, there's another word for, like, aliens. Or if, not, I'm
thinking of intelligent life.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Extraterrestrial.
Yeah, extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
But where exactly is that terrestrial at? Where is it located on?
I don't know, man.
I mean, we have just enough terrestrials. They have an extra one.
Yeah. Do you think we'll be alive for that time period? Whenever, like, a ship comes down and then CNN is like...
I don't really think that our civilization's going to see it. I don't think that we, as human beings, will ever see it, unfortunately. But I don't know. I mean, we could have had people or other, extra testicles land here already, and we don't know it. There are a lot of convincing stories out there.
Yeah.
Like, was it Bonnie and Barry Hill or something like that?
Who's that?
There's two people who were taken up into an alien spacecraft and probed or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And the whole story is so super fucking convincing.
Well, what's their story? I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with these people.
It's just people from a long time ago, like maybe the 30s. It was an interracial marriage, and they were just generally looked down upon. And, because she was white, he was black. And they both experienced being, put into a UFO and probed, and while that's not really a logical thing to go off of, it's easy to say that they're just crazy people. The evidence for it was insane. Like, just like what they had. I don't remember the exact story on it.
Well, for a second, I was about to be blown away because there's a movie that's coming out soon about an interracial couple that went to Supreme Court and they fought to make interracial marriage legal.
Right.
It was about a white guy and a black woman.
Right.
It's coming out this year. And for a second, I swear to God, I thought you were about to spoil it for me that it ends with them being abducted by an alien or our extraterrestrial being or whatever, being probed. Because it's supposed to be a dead serious movie, how love has no bounds. It shouldn't matter what color you are. If you love who you love is love, But then it just fucking ends with like, baby, I love you. I love you too. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's that? Shh.
That's actually the sequel. First movie, Love Has No Bounds.
Yeah.
Second movie, Love Has No Bounds in Space.
It just turns into some outer space, like starship fight,
Where no one can where no one can hear you interracially have sex.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that there was a time period like that. Like, I understand, and during those times, with all the racial things going on with the black people, with civil rights and all that stuff that was going on. Terrible thing that happened, but it's part of history, which that's crazy to think of. Like, it's absolutely a horrible, terrible thing that happened, but it's considered history, so we have to, teach it.
Yeah.
That this happened. We can't just be like, okay, it was a bad thing that happened. We can't treat it like the Holocaust. Like, it's a bad thing that happened. Let's never talk about it ever again.
Yeah.
No,
history is history. We shouldn't hide from it.
Mm-hmm.
We should just realize that it's only human to make mistakes. You know?
Hey, John. Swing. That's pretty awesome. The Dominator.
Swing. America.
Swing. They gotta have a lot of fun at that place. They come in. Thank you for calling Schwinn.
That's crazy.
It's nice taking road trips like this, man. Even though we had a place that we had to be, you had a place you had to be, it's still nice just to be on the road. Like, there's part of me that feels like this is, like, so natural to me because of, like, how much I've moved around and traveled.
Yeah.
Like, I know your job requires you to do it a lot,
Drive all the time.
but that's work. I'm talking just, like, in your personal life, like, just traveling and, like, being on the road. That's why I always felt, and it kind of dabs into, like, kind of a negative aspect to it, but it's how you take it. But, like, I always felt like there's a reason. I think I was meant to be able to, like, be in a band, to, like, make music and, like, tour.
Right.
Because I can do this with no problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can be on the road for a long period of time and not really, like, be homesick or whatever, because to me, this is like a form of home to me. Because
Right.
I've been down this road so many damn times.
Yeah.
You know. But I don't know. There's something pleasing about, I mean, not only just watching the trees go by, watching the white stripe go, you know, or whatever, and seeing cars passing by and I wonder where they're going in their journey of life. You know, it's the actual act, the actual movement. And, you know, like, we're just driving down a road, but for some reason I see it as, like, I'm moving somewhere different in my life path, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I'm not on a familiar road in my normal everyday life. I'm going down a different road, so it's like taking a turn.
There's so many songs that have that metaphor.
Yeah.
Going down the only road I've ever known.
Yeah. Like a drifter, I was born to be low.
I made up my mind.
Actually, I really don't like that song, but I feel like that's, like, really relative to what it is I'm trying. Yeah. No, I absolutely hate that song for it being, like, the anthem of lonely people. Like, I hate it for, like, it feels like almost contradicting in a way. Like, the fact that there's, like, an anthem for lonely people.
Because I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo.
Did we ever talk about that singer guy who sung that song on one of those, like, singing competitions, like America's Got Talent? Have we talked about? Okay, so there was this singer guy on one of those shows, America Got Talent, with, like, Simon Cowell and Howard Stern and Howie Mandel or whatever. Goes on stage and he sings "Creep." Okay.
Yeah.
Before I say anything more, very good-looking guy. Like, structurally, his face is like a 10.
Yeah.
Fit body. You know, he's wearing, like, rock star kind of clothes, like a black button-up shirt and, like, jeans and, like, Chuck Taylors.
Okay.
He's probably got a chain wallet.
Probably got a chain wallet.
Probably. And he sings "Creep," but he sings it almost like a fucking pop star would sing it. Like, holding notes way longer and, like, on key and, like, just doing everything very, like, I don't know, just the exact opposite, right? And, like, they cut to people in the audience and they were just like, oh my god, like, this is so amazing. And then the judges, they were like, that was the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my entire life. You know, like, they were just, like, losing their shit over it. I saw it and I was like, I have a serious bone to pick with this shit right now. Okay. That song is not meant to be sung by a good-looking person. That 10 is not supposed to be singing the anthem of, like, 1s and 2s. Okay? There is a certain character...
I think Tom York is my favorite, too.
There's a certain character in Tom York singing this song, him singing, I'm a fucking weirdo, I'm a creep, I don't belong here.
Right.
You know, seeing a very good-looking man sing it, it just doesn't, it feels so fake, it feels so wrong. You know what I mean? Now, granted, Radiohead's Creep has become like a staple in rock history. Okay?
Yeah.
If it's on fucking Rock Band, if it's like in the catalog of like most popular rock songs in the world,
Yeah.
it's a part of rock and roll history. So it's gonna get regurgitated time and time again by female singers, pop stars, other rock bands. It might even turn into a loop for some hip hop track sometime. Who knows? Okay.
Can you imagine, like, producing and creating a trash song that became, like, the biggest song?
Yeah.
The feelings that you would have for that, like, no, wait, let me try harder.
Yeah. But for some reason, when I saw that, I was just really, like, it irked me so much to know that, like, I know there's an audience for people who are affected by Tom, and they know, to them it means something. And maybe he was one of those guys who heard Radiohead and was like, I love this band. I got no problem with that.
Right.
Maybe I'm just being too nitpicky about
Or maybe they are legitimately great singers that listen to normal people music, and for some reason just it's like, well, this was a big hit, I'm going to try this one.
Yeah.
I think that would get under my skin the most.
Probably. Yeah. Like, I remember once I heard Mary J. Blige, the R&B singer, cover Stairway to Heaven. And I feel like a lot of females cover that song. Like, Heart covered it one time and they did really well. And Mary J. Blige covered it, and I think she did a good job. But I don't know, I didn't feel too weird when she did it, because she has such a soulful voice that it felt like whenever she was like breaking away and like getting into it real in depth, like you felt it off of her.
Yeah.
But there's still just something I felt very phony about this good-looking guy singing an anthem for weirdos.
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't explain it. It's one of those things you just have to see yourself.
Did you ever hear that? It was probably like the same show. It was like an autistic guy. I think it was Asperger's. And he did that Muse song. And he fucking nailed it.
Right.
That was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you heard it.
No, I never heard that movie before.
No.
That's one of the, like, I hate singing shows, like singing competition shows. Even though that's not just singing, it's like...
Have you seen The Voice? Where they don't look at you?
No.
They're all turned around?
I know the concept, but I've never watched an actual episode of it.
I don't really like those guys. Like, my mom will watch, like, Dancing with the Stars and shit.
Yeah.
And I can't. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. I mean, I got no problem with that. Just get to see pretty girls dance around. That's cool. But...
I like shows with musicians.
Yeah.
Or, magicians.
Magicians.
I like shows with magicians. Have you ever seen that one video of that dude that sawed his assistant in half?
I've never seen
For real?
I never seen it, but you told me all about it, and I want to watch it, even though I would be
It's
watching.
terrible. It's bloody. And you could just see his face. He was like, "Oh shit," because she had her neck stuck, but the music was so loud he couldn't actually hear her scream or do anything. Like, oh man, it was terrible.
I imagine so, but you got to think, like, I know that magicians add music to kind of add to the illusion,
Right.
like a lot of like almost like synth almost sounding stuff, like whispery kind of sounds, and like, you know, to add to the elements of it. But should there really be music at a magic show? I don't think so. That's just my opinion.
I think so. I think it's part of the. I don't know. You need that vibe. You need that illusory.
I like it whenever like they pull the trick off and then the audience sees it, and then there's like the da 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 da. You know, like
I don't. I just like the. I like the fucking Illuminati feel to it.
oh, okay.
That's what I like. I like the mysterious feel to it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's important. It's important to have that, man, because you're trying to convince the audience that you're a god, even though they know it's a trick. They know it's false. Something about that moment. You're creating a memory for them, and you want as much of that illusion as you can.
So you think if it was just completely dead silent and they were watching this guy like saw his wife in half, it would just be way more disturbing? Like, do you think with lack of music towards the magic, some of the tricks that they would do would just be like, wait, like David Blaine type stuff, whenever like he reaches into his chest and he pulls out his heart?
Yeah.
Okay, he did that, I want to say, on Jimmy Kimmel or something like that, and there was no music. It was just like, he was like reaching into his chest, and like Jimmy was like, the fuck are you doing? And then like audience was like gasping and screaming, and then like he literally like went into his chest, quote unquote, and pulled out his heart, and like people were screaming, and Jimmy was like, oh my god, what have you done? And then like David Blaine just faints, and then they go to commercial.
That really happened.
That really happened. But they didn't have music, so all you could hear was just like David Blaine like, here, let me try this.
Maybe David Blaine really is magical and also an idiot.
I don't know, man.
I was like, maybe this wasn't a good idea. I might need this.
Bro, I remember back in the day where he was like a legit big deal for a while. Like he had specials on TV, like David Blaine Magic Acts, that made it like an hour slot on Fox.
That mask guy is up there too.
Oh yeah, dude, the mask guy. I remember watching, like, but they did a whole thing like debunking his shit, like his.
Oh
magic.
yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Like he made a.
He jumped or he floated over a few buildings, and then you see like from shot to shot, the places are completely different.
Yeah, yeah. Or like he made like an elephant disappear, but they just showed the video of like somebody just walking the elephant behind a curtain.
Yeah,
like it was like some stupid bullshit like that.
I saw the David Blaine video where he goes to like Will Smith's house.
Yeah.
And he goes to somebody else's house, and it's just like it's really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff he does. Oh, I saw something the other day. It was fucking great. It was like it's one thing that David Blaine does where he's got like the pick that goes through.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he puts it in like a bag, a paper bag, and he's supposed to smash it.
Yeah, yeah.
He has other people smash their hand into it, see where the ice pick is.
Yeah.
And he did that obviously successfully. I saw a video this morning of somebody, and they smashed their hand through the paper bag, and then they had the next person do it to the next one.
Uh-huh.
He had like the contestant, or I think it was like a talk show that he did it on.
Uh-huh.
He had the lady from the talk show do it, and then you hear her, as soon as she put her hand down, she goes, ah! And it's like there's a fucking stake through her hand. And you see like on the bottom of the screen it says, lawsuit.
Oh my. Did that happen in America, or is this on a different?
I don't know, man. I purposely look for magic tricks gone wrong online.
Yeah.
But only when I'm masturbating.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
I was pretty. Did you ever go through a phase where you wanted to be a magician?
Yeah, I think Elias is going through that phase.
Yeah, like he shows you his hands. Like there's nothing in my hands, nothing in my hands, and then he'll do something, and then like
there's still nothing in his hands. Look, nothing in my hands. And push his hands together. Nothing in my hands.
Okay, I could top that shitty magic. Okay, so when I was a little, it wasn't me, but I was a little kid, and my school was holding like a talent show, and since there wasn't really any like extracurricular activities at my school, it's just sort of like if you have like something that you do on the side and you want to show it off, bring it to our talent show. So there was like people who would bring in like their tubas and like play like a few pages of some piece of music with a tuba. Some people would do like acting skits, terrible acting skits. I was actually a part of one of them. I'll go into that later. But there was this little kid. He was like Chad the Amazing, something like that, like some like little kid magician, and He's like, I'm gonna make a rabbit appear in this box. Okay? And like there was a teacher that was right next to him holding the microphone for him. And he's like, I'm gonna make a rabbit appear in this box. And like he showed the box to everybody. He's like, you see, there's nothing in the box. He put the box back down. He took his wand, biggity boop, biggity bop, biggity beep, whatever. He did his words.
Yeah.
And then he closed the box first. He said the words. Then he opened the box up, and then the teacher looks into the box, and then she goes, "Oh my God, there's a rabbit in there!" And then he takes a bow, and then he gets off the stage. That was the show. That was probably the shittiest magic trick I've ever seen in my life.
I'm confirming, everybody. You don't need to see it.
There's definitely a little rabbit in this box. But no, I was part of that show. My brother was pulling like some sort of skit with one of his friends where he was it's pretty much a Goosebumps ripoff. Like he was a puppet. Like he had like makeup, like the freckles or whatever. And he was a puppet. And this guy was like this guy was asking me, hey, I gotta go out of town for a little bit. Can you watch over my puppet? He's very valuable. You don't have to do anything. Just make sure he's okay. This is how terrible it was. Like, why the fuck do I have to watch over a fucking puppet?
Right.
So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch over him. And then the puppet, my brother, he turned alive, and like he was like looking at me, and he was pretending like he was coming towards me, like he was gonna kill me. And then he saw like his owner was coming back, so he would freeze. And his owner would be like, "Oh, I forgot my keys. I'm sorry." And I had to play a whole like, "Yo, this fucking puppet is alive. He's gonna kill me, man." What? You're crazy. Like that was the bit. That was the whole acting. Like it was just pretty much the same thing done over 5 times. Like that's the material we had. It was like he leaves, puppet comes alive, tries to kill me. I freak out. Dude comes back. Just do that over 5 times, and then we take a bow and like thank you everybody.
That's awesome.
That was my first acting gig. That's what I used to audition for Davy Crockett Fights Ninja Vampires.
That movie was solid.
As Goon number 5.
Goon number 5.
Vampire Ninja number 5. Excuse me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, Davy Crockett Fights Ninja Vampires was like probably the most fun thing I've ever been a part of, other than music, of course. Just because I got to see how movies are really made.
Yeah.
Even though it's like the college bare minimum version of how movies are made, essentially it's the same thing. I feel same process. Like they use the same fundamentals.
Right.
Because you have to start from there and then you go to the big times. But I got to learn about how important it is to have good craft services at the movie shoot. Because if you don't have good craft services, then you're gonna have a bad time. So someone
gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, somebody brought like a huge platter of like different kinds of muffins and cookies, and the morale was usually really good the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if there wasn't food, then people would be like, "Come on, let's get on with this stupid ninja bullshit, man. Come on!" Like it wouldn't have been fun, but it was fun.
I'd love to be in a movie, man.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of movie. I don't care. Well, yeah, I mean, gay porn is off the table.
Definitely that.
Yeah. Everything else.
Lesbian
porn.
I would love to do like voiceover stuff, like cartoons.
Right. Yeah, that's all I want to do.
I think that would be fun. Just to use my voice, other than podcasting, but to use it to create characters. Because like sometimes whenever we do bits, like it feels like we're acting.
Yeah.
And
I think that's why our commercials are so fun.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, like, put on accents or create characters in our heads and, like, trying to create them on screen or something like that. I know, I feel like I got a pretty decent imagination, but I just don't have the greatest outlet. Like, I have music, and that's good, but that kind of turns more into a collaboration of imaginations. That gets kind of formed into one different kind of thing, but using my own personal imagination to create a story and create character and stuff like that. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to do something like that too. I think I want to further a resume on voice.com.
Voice.com, what's that?
For jobs like that, basically voice acting jobs.
Oh, okay.
But not specific to animation. So, like, I wouldn't mind, like reading books or something, I don't know how good I'd be at it, but I know that, like, I think I do good with, like, voices.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I think that's why I like to do voices all the time, like in the podcast or just joking around with friends, it's, of course, there's, on one of the podcasts I listen to, or, like, the one that I always go back to, there's one guy that I kind of aspire to be like, that's Henry Zabrowski, and he does voices all the time. Like, if you listen to their podcast, there's 3 guys. One guy who does the research, and he's kind of like the main host. He's the owner of Cape Comedy. He does all of the podcasts, sets them up. That's Marcus, and then there's Ben Kissel, who's actually a comedian, but he's on TV a lot. He's acting and stuff like that. He's on, like, Fox's Red Eye and stuff like that. And then there's Henry Zabrowski, which is much more of an actor than he is a comedian, but he's by far the funniest of them all. Mm-hmm. And he does the voices, and,
Is he the guy who does the Bernie Sanders impression?
Oh, no. That was another guy that was on, that was another show, actually.
Was that Knights of the Round Table or whatever?
Yeah, well, that's Gentlemen of the Round Table.
Oh, okay.
It's like the same group, except Henry Zabrowski's not even on that.
Okay.
It was another guy doing the voice. He did that voice the entire fucking podcast, though. It was a fucking flawless.
Can you do a Bernie Sanders voice?
Can I?
Yeah. Try.
Oh, man.
Just try it.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Just do it.
I don't know what words.
What's shit that Bernie Sanders usually says? The 1% of the 2%.
The 1% of the 2%. The litmus test. I swear to God.
I don't know if he's ever gone that.
I don't know.
Well, okay, how about Donald Trump? Can you do any Donald Trump?
I don't think I can do Donald.
Look at these hands.
Look at these hands. No. Nowhere close.
That was far off.
I feel shameful for trying. See, I like to do, like, musician. I like to make fun of, like, singers.
Right.
Like, while they're singing. The David Draymonds and the fucking
Fred Durst, which has always been your big act. And,
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie, James Hetfield.
Which is overdone already. James Hetfield's already done. Thanks to Jim Brewer.
Yeah. I don't know, all 3 of those characters, or all 3 of those impressions, it's pretty much just saying the same word, but with different intensities.
Yeah. Specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Yeah. To Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
And then I could do the yeah.
Who the hell's that?
Kurt Cobain.
Oh. Have you been working on any other kinds of impressions?
As far as musicians?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, you say a singer and I can go at it.
Dave Grohl.
I don't think so.
Okay.
The best of you!
That wasn't even close.
The best!
Okay, that was actually better. No, my impressions of Dave Grohl is like whenever he gets like he starts going, like, he's not really saying the words correctly. He's just sort of like, because he can't scream that much. He loses his voice from screaming so much.
Which actually sounds good. It's like pushing an amp.
Yeah.
You know? I think, yeah. Like, whenever you're using a little small amp and you're giving it everything, that's better than the big fucking ones sometimes.
Who else is there?
Whoa!
Who's that?
The overdone one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many personalities, like, from as far as leads. Okay, Exo-Rose. You do Exo-Rose?
What song?
I don't know, man.
Alright, I used to love her, but I had to kill her. I used to love her, oh yeah, but I had to kill her.
Okay, that's pretty good.
She bit so much, drove me nuts. Now I can still hear her complain. Oh yeah.
You had me sold whenever you were like that.
Yeah. I think he legitimately shits his pants for that moment in time. Whoa, yeah. What, a Pearl Jam?
Yeah, little Eddie Vedder.
Whoa, I'm still alive. Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of went through like a time period of like young Eddie to old as shit Eddie who can't sing anymore.
What was that one song? Oh, where can my baby be?
Yeah.
Oh, took her away from me. They go to heaven, so I got to be gone. Oh, I can see my baby when I leave this world. Whoa!
That's pretty dead on right there. Well, anyways, our trip has come to an end, as the show shall come to an end.
What show?
The show that's been recording this.
You've been recording this whole time?
Yes, I have. So, on that note, sir.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Good luck.